Usman, thank you again to be a part of our weekly session.
Thank you for having me back.
We want to speak to you on the topic of vulnerability at workplace today. We are not sure what we're going to hear because before inviting you to today's session, we went and spoke to some of our folks at the offices about you and asked them if they thought you were a vulnerable manager. But none of them came back without associating that trait with you. In fact, we also see you as very composed, stoic, and a very strong manager. We want to know today if you think there is a connection between vulnerability and leadership, and how important you think it is, and especially at a workplace.
Oh, wow. I'm surprised. I think I'm one of the most vulnerable managers at work. But I guess vulnerability to many means showing weaknesses. I'm not sure if that is its true definition. So before I go into drawing a connection between vulnerability and leadership, I want to first highlight what vulnerability's true definition is and what it could look like in a place of work, and how important it is for a manager or a leader to be vulnerable. So vulnerability at place of work means being open, transparent, honest, and fearless. What do I mean by that? When I say open, I mean expressing and sharing the good and the bad. And here, a manager can be open about what he or she or his or her team is trying to improve in or reveal his or her potential weakness. By saying transparent, I mean giving feedback and flowing information without the red tape. And by honest, I mean being real, really showing up as a real human being. And finally, for fearless, I mean having and showing courage to face difficult situations without pressure. I think there are many other traits, but these are some of the top ones that come to mind immediately. In my opinion, if a manager is showing up to work, but isn't being open, transparent, honest, and fearless, then he or she is not doing their job. Managers have a fiduciary responsibility toward the teams they lead and the organization at large to be open in expressing what they feel, being transparent when it comes to sharing news because information is valuable and carries impact, and being honest so people know that their manager is trustworthy and reliable. And fearless, finally, in showing courage to discuss difficult conversations, decisions, and situations. You may know this, I have been a people manager since 2006, and over time, I have developed and sharpened these traits. I practice being open, transparent, honest, and fearless as a manager daily. This means often being empathetic toward my teams and managers and really trying to understand what their challenge could be, to sometimes having those very difficult conversations. I've had many conversations with members of my team, who are often senior managers, share their challenges with me in a vulnerable way. Whether it is finding the most suitable candidate for a role they're trying to fill, to budgetary issues, to managing a conflict at work. I recall that in almost all of those conversations, as I think back, I have advised on one thing with all of them throughout, and that is do the right thing. And now in retrospect, I believe that what I tell them all the time is to be open, transparent, be honest, and be fearless. If they develop, sharpen, and practice these traits, they will inevitably make better decisions, but simultaneously be vulnerable. So that's what I think.